Hi everyone, Carol Fitzgerald here. I'm in the kitchen today doing a few items and I thought I would film it and show you what I'm doing. I have Christmas music playing in the background and I'm in that kind of a mood, Christmas baking mood. So I have my yogurt that I made the other day. I made some more yogurt today for another couple of weeks. I don't eat it every day, so it lasts me at least 2 or 3 weeks. And I think you can leave that yogurt in the refrigerator about 5 weeks before it starts turning pink, 4 to 5 weeks. So as I mentioned in my last video on the yogurt, if it's pink, do not eat it, it's spoiled. First of all, I made some bran muffins. This is an old recipe that I had. The 6-week muffins, you may have heard of it from way back, way back. And you can make the batter up and put it in the oven, or I'm sorry, in the refrigerator, and then bake them whenever you need to. I always just bake them right from the start. The last time I made these, while I had all the ingredients out, measured the dry ingredients and put them in the freezer. So I took the dry ingredients out today. All I did was add the wet ingredients to it, and it was fairly simple to do and didn't take me very long at all. So these are fresh from the oven, cooling. This is sunflower and sesame seed crackers I'm making now. This is what they look like. You can cut them any size you want. They are delicious. I'm just going to break this for you. They're very crunchy. Hear the crunch? Really good. The first time I made these, I did not put enough salt in. So I am putting 1 teaspoon of salt in. The last time I only put a ½ teaspoon, but you can adjust that to your liking. So anyway, it calls for 2 cups of oats. Sorry. 1 cup of, this is white whole wheat flour. ½ cup of sunflower seeds. 2½ cups of water. I don't know why I'm putting that in now, but it doesn't really matter. That's where it's listed on my recipe sheet. 2 tablespoons of flax meal. 1 teaspoon of salt. Oops, kind of got stuck in there. 1/4 cup of sesame seeds. 1 tablespoon of dried onion and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And you get that all in there and mix it together. And as you can see, it's a little bit runny, but what we're going to do is let this sit. Scrape the sides and bottom of the bowl as usual when mixing anything. So this is going to sit now for, about 20 minutes or until it's of a consistency that there isn't any liquid left. And we'll come back once that's rested for a while. This is a kind of a jar. That's all I have left from my last batch. And I just put this in this hermetically sealed jar and I eat them with a salad or whatever. There's no oil in here, no bad ingredients. I love it. I've made crackers before that have been okay, but these are absolutely delicious. So, like I said, I added a little bit more salt to this time, and I'm going to also sprinkle a little bit on the top. One more thing I didn't do is rosemary. The last batch I made, I added some rosemary. I'm going to cut that up and add it to this as well. So I'll be back in a minute. The last of my rosemary sprigs, I think I used about 12 of them, and then I've chopped it up here. I'm going to chop these up too and then put them in the cracker batter. Okay, so I've scooped up the rosemary and I'm adding it to the batter here. And as you can see, the liquid is pretty much getting absorbed, but I'm going to let it sit for a little while longer. Mix it all up. The basil's gone, the mint is gone, and the rosemary seems to last the longest out there in the garden. So I went out there and picked my rosemary, and now it's in my crackers. I like rosemary flavor, but if you don't like it, you can use any herb that you like. Oregano, Italian seasoning, basil, I mean, you name it, whatever herb you happen to have on hand will do to your liking. Okay, talk to you a little bit later. Okay, so I just eyeballed this and divided it in half and put it on 2 cookie sheets. And what you're going to do now is use an offset spatula, like this one, it's a little bent on the bottom. And then the edge of it doesn't bump into the side of the cookie sheet here. So what you're going to do is just spread it out like this. Just spread, spread, spread until you have it all the way to the edges of the pan, all the way around. And flatten it out and then spread, spread, and I would say to about 1/4 of an inch. It's all spread out fairly evenly. If you don't get it spread out evenly, then you're going to have it thick in one spot and too thin in another spot, and then it won't cook evenly, won't bake evenly. So these are going in the oven now for 15 minutes. And then when I take them out, I'm going to score them into the size of cracker that I want, which is about 1 1¼ inch square. So you can see this is really thin. I've got it all the way to the edge of the pan. And then you go around and look after you've done this and see if you have any bare spots and fill those in, because otherwise, as I mentioned, it won't cook properly. Going in the oven for 15 minutes. This has been in the oven for 15 minutes, and now what we're going to do is take a pizza cutter, and I'm going to go down the middle, and we're going to score this. And then I'm going to go the middle of this half, in the middle of this half. Hopefully I'm doing that right so I get my little squares. And then I'm going to go the middle of this little area. And this one. We should get about 1 by 1 inch squares. Then this is going back in the oven to finish baking and crisping up. And back in the oven for another 40 minutes. I still have 1 pan of crackers in the oven, and my oven is not working today, so I have been standing here monitoring these, and some of them are getting a little bit dark. Yeah, so those got a little bit dark, and I don't know what happened. I just called a repairman. Anyway, these are the crackers. They're still good. They're delicious. Listen to this. They're so crispy. I love these. They're great with salads. And just anytime you want something crunchy, that way so many of us, you know, just can't do without that crunch. So I hope you make these. Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. And by the way, this was an adapted, slightly adapted recipe from Anne and Esselstyn and Jane Esselstyn. Pioneer Warrior Woman or something like that, the book. Okay, take care.